there are whispers that her show was once temporarily pulled off the air. All because of a black dress with a daring slit that some claimed crossed the line. People can argue all they want about how bold Elvira was, but one thing is undeniable. She made America redefine the meaning of sexy on television. Years later, in a memoir that sent shockwaves through Hollywood, Cassandra Peterson, the woman behind that iconic black dress, revealed what she called a life-changing night at the private home of basketball legend Wilt Chamberlain. No one but her knows exactly what happened that night, but her story was powerful enough to make Hollywood go silent and force the industry to look at itself. Between fame, power, and truth, who really gets protected? If you want to uncover the real, tragic, and beautiful stories hidden behind the spotlight, hit subscribe so you don't miss the secrets Hollywood still whispers about. That night, inside the home of a basketball legend, the smile on her lips faded. And when the door closed, Hollywood lost another piece of its innocence. In the mid-1970s, at just 25 years old, Cassandra Peterson, a young actress still struggling to find her place in Los Angeles, was invited to the private home of Wilt Chamberlain, the greatest basketball star of his time. She thought it would be nothing more than a friendly gathering. Music playing, wine flowing, and party lights flickering. But that night, as she would later recount in her 2021 memoir, everything changed. The glamour disappeared, leaving behind only fear, and a silence that lasted 40 years. No one knows exactly what happened. No court case, no charges. Only a woman carrying a wound that time could never erase. A memory that taught her one chilling truth. Sometimes the real darkness doesn't live on stage. It begins the moment the lights go out. What do you think about this? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss the hidden stories behind Hollywood's brightest lights. Cassandra Peterson was born in 1951 in Manhattan, Kansas, a quiet town where gentle prairie winds blow. But her childhood began not with calm, but with fire. At just 18 months old, a tragic accident left 35% of her body covered in severe burns. Her skin was scarred and her early years were marked by the sting of pitying stares. Instead of hiding, Cassandra learned to face it. She stood before the mirror every day, looked at the burned patches on her skin, and taught herself to love them. People often say she grew up with a heart that didn't know fear, because once you've walked through fire, nothing else can scare you. That fire didn't just burn her skin. It carved a different kind of flame into her soul. The fire of a survivor. And years later, when the spotlight of Elvira lit up the stage, no one realized that behind every beam of light was still the reflection of that first unforgotten flame. At just 17 years old, Cassandra Peterson left the endless wheat fields of Kansas behind and headed for Las Vegas, the city of neon lights, cigarette smoke, and sleepless dreams. The skinny girl with bright eyes and a curious voice quickly found a job, a showgirl dancer in the glittering nightclubs of the Strip. By day, she practiced in borrowed high heels. By night, she stepped onto the stage, becoming a version of herself she could barely recognize. In Vegas, everything had a price, and sometimes the most expensive thing was innocence. Amid the hazy lights and pounding music, she learned to smile even when her heart was trembling. Because in this city of sin, if you don't know how to perform, it will swallow you whole. Beneath the neon lights and cigarette smoke, she learned to smile, even when her heart was shaking. One night in 1969, beneath the dazzling yet suffocating lights of Las Vegas, Cassandra Peterson was invited to an exclusive party, a place where the spotlight wasn't for the audience, but for those already intoxicated by fame. There, she met Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, who was at the peak of his stardom but carried a quiet weariness in his eyes. Elvis looked at the young girl in her glittering dress and said, in a voice both gentle and firm, "This isn't the place for you. Leave Vegas before it swallows you like it did so many others." Those words, meant as a passing warning, became a turning point in her life. Cassandra left Vegas soon after, carrying with her a mix of uncertainty and a fragile spark of hope. Some say, if it hadn't been for Elvis, there might never have been Elvira. Leaving the United States behind, Cassandra Peterson found her way to Rome, the city of art, music, and freedom. Along its cobblestone streets, in smoky little cafes and open piazzas echoing with guitar melodies, she became the lead singer of 2 Italian rock bands. She wandered from club to club, singing beneath warm golden lights as tipsy crowds cheered and swayed to the rhythm. She was no longer the frightened girl hiding backstage in Las Vegas. She was an artist, living, singing, and burning brightly with her audience. It was in Italy that Cassandra crossed paths with legendary filmmaker Federico Fellini, who invited her to appear in his 1972 film Roma from Those Old Roman Streets. She was reborn, rising from the ashes of fear to become the storyteller of her own life. In ancient piazzas and to the sound of guitars, she found herself again, no longer a victim, but an artist. In 1981, when KHJ-TV in Los Angeles held auditions for a late-night horror host for Movie Macabre, Cassandra Peterson, an unknown actress freshly back from Europe, walked into a small casting room with an idea no one expected. No script, no plan, just pure improvisation. In that moment, she created Elvira, a woman in a low-cut black dress, towering beehive hair, sharp eyes, and a voice that was equal parts biting sarcasm and dark allure. When Elvira's first laugh echoed on television, viewers weren't sure if they were watching a character or a declaration. For Cassandra, Elvira wasn't just a role, she was a piece of her soul. A second voice daring to speak where her real one had once been forced into silence. Elvira laughed, and that's how a legend was born. Just weeks after Movie Macabre first aired, America was split in two. One half was obsessed with her, the woman who dared to turn horror into a joke, who laughed at the very things television had always tiptoed around. The other half saw her as a threat to American morality. The plunging black dress, the husky voice, and the defiant gaze of Elvira infuriated many advertisers, who claimed her image was too provocative for TV. There were even whispers that the show had once been asked to delay its airtime, or temporarily pull it, simply because She wore too little. No one ever confirmed those rumors. But one thing was undeniable. Elvira forced American television to redefine the meaning of sexy, because when a woman dares to do what men have always done, society doesn't call it bold. They call it a sin. In the 1980s, Elvira wasn't just a character. She was a pop culture phenomenon. From an unknown showgirl who made a brief appearance in Diamonds Are Forever, 1971, to the young woman who appeared in Roma by Federico Fellini, Cassandra Peterson had traveled a long road to become Elvira, the mistress of the dark. With Movie Macabre in 1981, she made America fall in love with her. Then Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, 1988, catapulted her to the top, turning her into a pop icon who was sexy, free-spirited, and unafraid to mock the very standards Hollywood held sacred. Even Elvira's Haunted Hills, 2001, once seen as just a playful joke, became a cult classic, proof of the timeless power of a character who never aged. And when Elvira entered the world of Call of Duty, she officially crossed from the silver screen into legend. Hollywood called her the Queen of Halloween, and audiences saw her as one of the few powerful women bold enough to laugh at the things the world found terrifying. In 2021, Cassandra Peterson shocked the world when she publicly revealed her 19-year relationship with Teresa Wierson, her friend, companion, and the quiet love she had kept hidden for nearly 2 decades. In her memoir, Yours Cruelly, Elvira, she wrote about the fear of losing everything: her audience, her contracts, and the Elvira persona she had spent a lifetime building. But at some point, silence became a cage. Cassandra chose to speak, not for attention, but to finally breathe. After decades of hiding, she shed the role and returned to herself. More than 40 years later, Elvira remains an immortal symbol of Halloween and of personal freedom. At 70, Cassandra Peterson no longer fears the dark. She has walked through fire, faced her fears, and turned every scar into strength. Elvira is more than a character. She is the declaration of a woman who dared to live honestly and shine in her own way. Elvira was never the darkness of the world. She was the light born from her own shadows. Because sometimes true power isn't about escaping the night. It's about daring to make it glow. If you believe every star has a hidden side worth telling, hit subscribe and join us as we uncover the real, tragic, and beautiful legends of Hollywood.